This is the DD Reef Pro 900 and I'm doing an update. Welcome to my latest video, and it's a long time since I've actually done an update on the DD Reef Pro 900. So this tank is a little bit different to the others, that I just dumped corals in there when I closed off the Red Sea Reefer 450. I do very little to it. If I buy corals, I usually put them in here first to acclimatise, make sure they're all ready before they go into the tank over there, which is the floating aquascape, or into the Max Nano Peninsula, which at the moment is not taking any corals or fish because there's dinos. So I thought it'd be great just to capture what the tank is like at the moment and how the tank works. So it is a mixed reef. It hasn't got many SPS, but it's got some big colonies in it. Yeah, so we'll start with some of those. So the problem when your tank grows out pretty well is you get coral warfare. So that's a purple plating Monty, and it looks a bit, I mean, it's a lovely shape there and there, because you put one piece in and look at that, it layers up, which is absolutely fantastic. The problem is when they take off, they really do take off in terms of growth patterns and everything else. I had a little bit that just decided to go on the floor there, and it's a bit of a bare bottom there because of the MP40 and the way it blows the sands around, and now it's stuck to the bottom. So if I want to get rid of that, I'm going to have to kill it off by putting sand. But what's actually happened here, and we'll take a bit of a top-down view on this one so you can actually see it, is that you've got a Duncan there and you've got a alveopore there, both beautiful. And you can see I've had to break pieces off of the Monty, because it's just going to strangle it basically. It will grow and grow, cut off the light, and then it will just die off. So I may end up having to move those two. The Duncan I can move into the 170. I'm not too sure about the alveopore. I'd love to put that into the 900 on that. So that is that piece. And you've got a goniopora just there that looks a bit worse for wear. That's because it was in the 170. Got stung while I was away for 3 days, and I've put it in there to recover. Some of it's died off, whether it'll actually last or not, we'll never know. But it's been like that for probably about 3 or 4 weeks, so it hasn't died off, so who knows. Now there's some corals in here that are quite old. So that was an original coral that I bought in my very first tank. So that is probably about 8 years old. That one is about 7. And then in this A-can, it's in 3 pieces, which is there and there. That was one of the first A-cans I bought. It was a colony, and I fragged that. Now I've turned the water off, the pump off, and I think the DD controller, which is up there, has taken the temperature down to 24.5. And I suspect, yeah, because look at that, that's out of the water. That should be all right now, although it's having a little bleep to itself. And then the war coral over the back there, that's one of my first corals as well. And that is probably just about 8.5 years old as well. And all these corals have all been fragged numerous times, hence why they're not massive. And actually, in a way, I don't want them to grow massive. Having said that, I've got this Avatar chalice there, and that started off in the Red Sea Reefer 450 as a 1-inch frag, and now it's absolutely huge. Look at that. When you see how much that takes up of that tank. And with chalice, I find, put it on the sand bed, just let them get on with it. Not a massive amount of flow, but it needs to be enough flow to take the sand off so you don't get dead spots. So if you have a look there's a little bit where it's gone a bit grey. That's probably because there was a bit of sand in there and it wasn't disturbed. So you get that odd patterning in there where you have, it doesn't get enough flow. Just enough flow just to take all the sand off. And if it doesn't, then you get a little bit of die off. But I mean, it's absolutely huge and fantastic piece there. Jack-o'-lantern, that's another lovely coral. I usually grow that on a sand bed, so that's about halfway. It might be a good time to talk about the lights now. So I've got 2 Ecotech XR15s. They're Gen 4s. So they're quite old, and they're probably about 18 inches off of the tank. And the reason why I've done that is the spread. Now there are T5 units there, so it's a hybrid. I switched the T5s off about 15 months ago, but one because of the cost of electricity. Secondly, you have to get new bulbs every 12 months and they're ready to have new bulbs. And also, with it's that high, you don't actually need it. I mean, if you have a look, you've got a full amount of spread in this tank, whereas the tank over here, you've got the mount, and that's the standard, that's 6 or 9 inches off of the surface, being about 18 inches. It makes such a big difference to the spread. If we take a top-down view, you can have a look at the corals there. These are the older ones I was talking about, the 2 Duncans there. And I've got some other old ones in here. I mean, the Avatar, very, very old. Bubble coral there, that's about 8.5 years old. There's the war coral there. And I do love my chalices. So I've got another one again, that was been fragged numerous times. And over here are, in probably a little bit less flow and light, there's a rainbow chalice there. It's golden embers, I think, that one over in the corner. I'm not 100% sure. Raja Rampage, and they're all quite low down. You can, I find, put chalices higher up, but what I tend to find with those is they lose their colour. Another rainbow one there, and you can just see the frag disc just there. So hopefully it's going to grow onto that and then saves me fragging it. And that's almost like a fake Raja Rampage there. I can't remember the exact name of it, but a stunning colour. I still prefer the original, but nevertheless it's a really nice one. And then you've got the Alveopora colony there, and I brought that one to the left there, and then I got and realised I don't think it's the same one or not. There's a slight difference in the colour, but that could be just the lighting, where that one's higher than that one. And then one of my recent ones there is a Bernard Pora. I haven't really seen a Bernard Pora before, but absolutely beautiful. It was a rainbow, it had 4 or 5 different colours, but it's lost some of its colour, just coming back, and it's just change of parameters as it goes from one tank to another, and you find that, and it just finds its fate, it finds its own coloration. But I've got to say, that is an absolute stunning coral. It's quite a short polyped one, yet at night it extends its polyps, so it definitely is capable of extending its polyps, similar to that one there. So whether it's not enough flow, too much flow, I'm going to leave it there and then have to try and move it around. But I absolutely love that, and very, very different as well in terms of the coloration. Probably showing off about 2 or 3 different colours at the moment. And then over here, I just dumped some zoas. But then what you find with zoas, some of them do dominate and they take over. So you've got the Candy Crush, which is those there, and they tend to take over. You've got Utter Chaos, you've got Rusters, and they're just mingling with everything else. And there was some Rusters in with that Acan that's in the middle there, so I had to frag them and take those off. And then a really underrated mushroom there, which is a Superman mushroom, and you can stick those anywhere and they will grow. It's got low flow, low light. I've got a massive Aptasia there, and what you find is I can't have a peppermint shrimp in here because I have a peacock wrasse, my favourite wrasse, but they do like peppermint shrimps. They like them a lot, which is a really pain because I usually tend to have peppermint shrimps in it. And I've tried a couple of times on the basis that the peacock wrasse will go into the sand and the peppermint shrimp will come out at night. But for whatever reason, it knows where it is, hunts it down, and has a tasty snack. So no more. So what I'm having to do is I'm just putting some putty over it. So I haven't done that one yet, so a putty there, but I take a look every week to see if I've got any more Aptasia, and I probably have. But you find with Aptasia, when they first start, they're really, really small, and by the time you've seen them, they've been there for quite a while. So that is the tank and the aerial view. I don't see that very often. Really, really happy with that. That is absolutely stunning, even if I say so myself. Now, what's the regime on this tank? It's not a lot. I've got the DOS dosers there, and I dose alkalinity, calcium, and magnesium. I used a Red Sea ABC. I've been using that since my very first tank, and when I started dosing, I like it. It's good enough for this tank. When I run out, I may turn to Ultra Reef. Don't know, because I use Ultra Reef in the other tank. But we will see. Then, if you look under into the cabinet, it's a really simple setup. I've got the Clarity all switched off at the moment, and I've got a skimmer. Just got a bag of Roa Phos in there because the phosphate creeped up a little bit because I'm feeding quite heavily. And over the back I've got a Ecotech Vetra M2. Now the sump's really cruddy, but I'm not really fussed about that. Clean it out maybe twice a year, and that's about it. Probably due a change if the phosphate's going up, but I am feeding quite heavily pellets and during the day, flake during the day, and then mysis or brine shrimp in the evening. In terms of flow, I've got two MP40 Vortex, better seen from this end, on random flow all of the time. They're not, hello, that's Picasso clownfish now, and that Bengal cardinal was actually bred in another tank, and that's the survivor. I had 6 that turned from juveniles into adults, and over time they just go. And then there's a Blenny there, which is a lovely fish. So all fairly docile fish, although clowns quite often are not, but they seem to be in this tank. I haven't got many fish in here, just quite deliberately, because I want to keep the maintenance fairly lightweight. Here I've got a branching Cyphastria. Never had one before. It's hard to pick it up on the camera, but it's kind of got a mauve base, stems, and then the tips are purple. Absolutely love it. I never really kept Cyphastria until recently, but they are stunning corals, low light usually. And then I've got a couple of others that I picked up as well. There's that one there, I don't know the names of them, and there's one there that's, you can see that from the top, maybe a bit better. And I've got another one which is in this tank there, which I think is a Joker Cyphastria. It's only been in there 2 weeks, so we'll have to see how it goes with the light. But overall, I am really happy with this tank. Nice and open, fish want to swim around, plenty of space, DD tanks, absolutely fantastic tanks. I put in my review before, it looks brand new, no different to the day I actually bought it. If you want to see more videos like this, or what's happening on the 170, because that's due an update pretty soon, then it'd be great if you can subscribe. Yeah, if you've enjoyed this video, maybe a like. So thanks for watching.